Hi, this is Yukiko here, and today we're going to talk about how to eat well, proper diet, healthy eating. And I was in my mid-20s when I started to work as a chemical engineer in the mid-Manhattan on 34th Street. I take 7th Avenue IRT subway from 72nd Street on Broadway to Penn Station and walk across Manhattan just by Macy's and get to my office on Park Avenue. I was a hot shot. After all, few people applied from my university and I was the only one who was hired. So I beat someone who was really on top of the class too. So I was really proud. I loved my job. I went to work every morning, 5 days a week. You know, crowded subway and all. Then, about a year later, I started to feel kind of irritable condition, and it was diagnosed as stomach or ulcerative colitis. And I was given prescription of, I was given some prescription, and then I started to twitch in my eyes and started to twitch in my arms. And I did a lot of research, and I switched my diet to natural food diet. And this is what I'm going to share with you, because as a result of that diet, everything about me changed. And a few years later, I no longer worked at the 9 to 5 job anymore. And then I really enjoyed my freedom. I'm going to share with you why it's so important to eat healthy. And it has a lot to do with what kind of lifestyle you choose for yourself. I like to continue to talk about how to beat the Monday blues. And in part 1, we talked about how to build a healthy body. That is so important. And number 2, we're going to talk about eating healthy diet. And some of my friends say, come on, Yukiko, what has it got to do with the Monday blues? And I say, you know, everything we do has connection. If you're not feeling well on Monday, that means something is going on in your life. Something isn't right. And we know it's about work. So some people say, well, if I don't like my job, why should you worry about the diet first? Well, hear me out. If your child is having an issue, you can't just send your child to a therapist. It becomes a whole family issue, right? And then you work, you don't like the job. You got a degree, and then you are proud to be an engineer, to be a school teacher, or to work in an office, being an economist, whatever you chose. And it's not working out. So let's take a look. You are what you eat. So we need to look at everything, starting with the diet. And you know, the big industry is the food industry. What they raise, what they produce, the products they make. All these things are what people are eating. They become part of their body cells and affects the way we think, way we choose. Everything affects us. Even if you are unhappy, stressed out, anxious about going to work on Monday, you don't like it, you get the Monday blues. If you are eating well, and then you are very much aware of why you eat certain foods and why you don't eat others, and make a political statement and make a decision as to what kind of economy you're supporting, your mindset will have a completely turnaround situation. And then you'll begin to be able to prepare your future plans based on the actions you are taking, lifestyle you are creating. So I urge you to really consider and take a look at what you are eating. Just make a choice based on education and an awareness. So there are definitely things you must avoid. Processed food, factory-produced hamburgers. Why? Because all kind of things are put in the food, and because of the ways animals are treated when they mass produce, and some of the cattle never see the sunlight. They are kept in their own feces and fed the food that they don't eat and injected with antibiotics, and they are sick, and you are eating sick things and chemicalized food. What kind of freedom would you have for yourself to eat that kind of food? So then artificial fructose, corn syrup, and a lot of sugar. Definitely they really affect your mood very much, not to speak of all the other adverse effects that will happen to you. Fourth one, farm-raised fish. It creates such a polluting environment, and there are controversies over pros and cons on this. So you'd have to do your own research to be convinced. But if I were you, I would not eat farm-raised fish. Full of disease. So unnatural. The consideration of organic or not organic, or at least locally raised vegetables and fruits. And there are some fruits that you should definitely eat that are organic. I list them. That's from the Prevention magazine. Please go to my blog and find them. And partially hydrogenated oil, that happens in the processing of oil. And then you should definitely avoid what's called trans fats. Trans fats are used in a lot of commercially available baked goods, cookies, cakes, crackers. And today, gluten. We've found a lot about gluten, and then many people are allergic. You start to feel dizzy, you start to have bowel syndromes, and then if you are allergic, you should avoid wheat bread. Because wheat are grown, different hybrids of wheat are grown in the last several decades, not the way we used to grow. So these 7 items you should definitely avoid, and then I specifically help you with selecting alternative food that you could switch to so that you would feel much better and great. And then there are 7 ways that you could really expand your horizon about cooking, being involved with family, and creating family activities around when you are together on weekends. Starting with delicious, fun breakfast making that's nutritious. And then plan your work and schedule before a meal or after a meal so that during the week you're not so stressed out. And just make sure that your meal plan, that you eat healthy meal on the weekend, not just play and then have fun and then Sunday night scale down so that you have enough rest for Monday. And you'll be able to plan as your body and mind get really much more solid. You can think clearly, and then alternatives and plan B will come to your life. Our part 3 will be about the mindset. So click below and go to my blog site and read this blog on healthy diet, healthy way of eating to change your life. But begin here with you first. Beat the blues, Monday blues. Begin here with you first, with your exercise, with your eating, how you relate to your family through the meals and then the eating habits, and beat the Monday blues. Click the link below and join me. See you on the inside.